What's up guys, welcome back to Deck Tech for Decks. I'm your host Caleb. If you want to support me, you can now follow me on Patreon. Not only is it the best way to support the channel, but additionally, you'll get more say in what decks I cover. Special shout out to my high contributing patrons, Newsome, you rock. Now let's get into today's Deck Tech with Voja. And guys, this guy's giving me flashbacks to Atali. I keep rereading and rereading the card, trying to find out the balancing factor, and guys, it's just not there. The fact that we get Ward 3, Vigilance, Trample, and you get the counters on your entire board, not just your wolves or elves, is extremely busted. You don't get punished at all for running nothing but elves and a few wolves here and there and just getting your commander out as fast as possible. This essentially turns your commander to Craterhoof Behemoth in the command zone, buffing all your elves up extremely fast, making them massive, and you're left with a deck that turbos out the commander, has elf ball strategy synergies, and draws you cards whenever it attacks. This deck is extremely disgusting, so let's get into some of the cards that are going to make this guy busted. The first thing I saw was Bloodthirster. The fact that this guy has Vigilance and doesn't tap whenever he attacks, we get to abuse all of those extra combats, so you're just going to kill somebody with this guy. Another thing I was able to find is a few cool wolf cards we get to run, so there is some splashy tech in this deck that's going to be pretty awesome. Mirror Entity is gonna be cool, as well as Maskwood Nexus to make all of our wolves elves and all of our elves wolves, and it just literally doubles up on how busted this commander is going to be. So if that sounds like a deck tech you want to get into, let's get into it. Let's kick it off by talking about the wolves we get to run. Inara is going to be perfect. Math's not for green players anyway, so the fact that we can just attack, no math, we don't have to worry about Death Touch or any of that stuff, and our commander is going to be safe, is going to be perfect for us. Cemetery Prowler is going to be awesome as well. It's not only going to reduce our spell's cost, it's additionally going to act as some pretty effective graveyard hate. Wolfbriar is one of the most busted cards in this deck. Remember, we are generating a ton of mana with the elves we put in here, so the fact that we can cast this guy for upwards to 10 is going to be insane and draw us through our library pretty fast. Hollowhinge Overlord is also going to be pretty insane in this deck. The fact that we can play this guy and he just doubles up on our wolves every turn is going to be pretty insane. Talsamir is going to be in the deck as well, just so we can get that fight effect from our wolves. That's going to be extremely oppressive and impactful. Master of the Wild Hunt, same thing here. Not only are we getting a fight effect, but we're also additionally getting more wolves. We have Tovolar in the deck as well, just for some more solid card advantage, and if we flip him, he can be a pretty good buff, so that's pretty solid there. Faldorn's just going to give us free advantage. We want to play lands, and whenever we do, we get wolves out of it. Howling Moon is going to be awesome. It's just going to reward us with wolves while our opponents try to play the game. Maskwood Nexus is also going to make an appearance in the deck. The fact that we can make 2/2 blue shapeshifters that are elves and wolves is going to be extremely impactful, and along with, just turning all of our other creatures into elves and wolves, it's just going to win us the game. Mirror Entity does exactly the same thing, but we get the option to buff our entire board state up. This guy's going to go insane with Selvala and probably just win us the game. Moving on to elves, we have our early mana dorks with Elvish Mystic, Arbor Elf, Findhorn Elves, and Leonmore Elves. Then we have our higher ceiling elves with Bloom Tender, Gwenna Eyes of Gia, and Incubation Druid. Priest of Titania, Marwyn, and Selvala Heart of the Wilds are just going to generate a ton of mana in this deck. We're going to have a ton of elves, Selvala is going to have a lot of big creatures for targets, and Marwyn's going to just get massive. Gyre Sage is also going to get pretty big in this deck, allowing her to tap for a ton of mana. Other Arwen is also a perfect fit in the deck because, again, she's going to get massive, and now whenever those elves enter the battlefield, they're just going to enter massive, so that's pretty cool. Nissa Resurgent Animist, just to give us some solid ramp, while additionally finding us more elves. Imperious Perfect and Elvish Warmaster are going to give us additional elves in the form of tokens. We also have Reese the Redeemed to double up on all of our tokens, including our wolves. Reclamation Sage for some solid removal, and it's an elf. Cultivator of Blades, again, another card that just kind of wins us the game. Beast Whisperer can net us some solid card advantage. Werefox Bodyguard, more removal. Shalai and Halar are elves, so that's going to be dope in the deck. They're going to do a ton of damage in the deck and really start pressuring our opponent's life totals. Moving on to the core of the deck, we have Wolfguard just to double up on our commander's attack trigger because it's so busted. Strionic Resonator can also do the same thing, and if that doesn't work, we're just going to play Helm of the Host so we can just get an additional copy of our commander. Bloodthirster, again, this card just wins us the game in this deck. The fact that our commander has Vigilance is busted. We're going to get a total of 4 combats with this guy, and our commander can enjoy every single one of them. Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots for additional protection. I know he has Ward 3, but let's not tempt anybody to play a 4-mana Swords to Plowshare. All will be one. Again, this is just going to do a ton of damage in the deck, be solid removal, and really start pressuring those life totals. Kodama of the West Tree, everything's modified, so we're going to get a ton of ramp. Clever Concealment can protect us from a massive Wrath effect. Vigor's just in the deck for some added synergy with Blasphemous Act. Additionally, we do draw a ton of cards, so just so we don't deck ourselves in case he's going to be in the deck. Seize the Day is a kind of card advantage card in this deck, because remember, we do draw cards with our commander, so not only is our board going to get massive, we're going to draw additional cards, and again, it's just going to add more counters to all of those elves. The Reaver Cleaver is extremely busted in this deck. Since our commander is going to be massive, we're going to have near infinite mana. Invasion of Ikoria, 9 times out of 10 we're probably going to grab Bloodthirster with this, but it's just a very flexible card in the deck. Not to mention everybody's going to be chump blocking our elves, so the fact that we can flip this over and assign combat damage as though they weren't block is going to be pretty busted. Swords to Plowshare and Nature's Claim are also going to make appearances in the deck for some solid removal. Bane of Progress to hate out those artifact and enchantment strategies. Austere Command because it's super flexible. We then have some early game ramp with Farseek, 3 visits, Nature's Lore. Moving on to card advantage, we have Wheel of Misfortune. We can just throw our entire hand of elves on the battlefield, so having something to refill that is going to be very useful. Hunter's Insight. Remember, our commander does have wards, so if people are tapped out, you can really start doing the math and seeing if they can do anything to stop you from using this, so it's going to be pretty solid in this deck and cause you to draw a ton of cards. Toski, Bearer of Secrets, and Orin Frostfanged. Now we are drawing cards whenever we're dealing combat damage. Guardian Projects and the Great Henge, we have a ton of low to the ground creatures, so the fact that we can play our elves, draw into more elves, doing the elf ball thing is going to be extremely busted. Rishkar's Expertise and Last March of the Ents are going to be amazing cards in the deck. Rishkar's Expertise lets you cast 1 card, and Last March of the Ents just says, hey, cast them all. I know only creatures, but again, the good portion of the deck is creatures, so this card's just going to be a solid game ender in the deck that can't be countered. Playtest. Let's scroll down, see our opening hand. We have, 1 land. If we had 2 lands. Risk it? We could. We're not going to do that, though. Okay, yes, we're going to keep this one hardcore. Boop. Okay, Nissa, that's good. This is good. Throw out probably Bloom Tinder, because she actually taps for mana. We'll throw this one out first. Here. Yeah, and then we can get the Evolve proc, or we could just Commander. Let's just Commander. You can never go wrong with just throwing out the Commander, and then we'll add a counter onto this. Boop. And then we'll go to our next turn. Okay, I did put budget lands in this list, so you guys can kind of see, like, most of my lists are hitting the $300 range. It's just when you put the most efficient lands in a list, it just gets expensive fast. Okay, so we'll do that. This taps for 2, this taps for 3. Yeah, we can just Shalai and Halar here. Ooh, that's gross. Okay, so when our commander attacks, this is why it's busted. We're going to already be getting 1, 2, 3, 4 counters on everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first time our commander attacks, he's a 9/9. And then our Bloom Tinder's a 5/5 already. This is turn 5. And then remember, Shalai and Halar will be doing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 damage to someone. That's not fair magic, guys. It's just not, okay? And then we will draw a card because he is a wolf. Have I played land per turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have not. We'll go ahead and throw that down. That's going to give us a landfall trigger here. So we'll get 1, 2. Tap this for 6 mana. Is that worth it? Yeah, and then we'll this for 4. So we're going to get 4 wolf tokens here. Okay, let's go to turn 6 with our 4 wolf tokens. And this is why I'm saying it's broken, right? Because now we just win. When we attack with our commander and everything else, it's going to see that we have 5 elves in play, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I misspoke. We only have 4 elves. 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 elves in play. My bad. So last time it wouldn't have done the 25 things, but let's do it. So we have 4. Yeah, 8, 12. And then this is going to be 16. This is going to be 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be 24. And then plus an additional 4. So I think that's 40 damage, right? 24 plus, yeah, that's 40 damage off of Shalai and Halar. And then we send our commander at the same guy we sent him at last turn, and he's just dead. And yeah, so this deck is just gross. 3-minute playtest, didn't take long. This guy's disgusting. Yeah, this is probably the most aggro commander we've gotten in a long time. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. I do appreciate my high contributing patrons, Newsome, Excessum, and Chicken Salad. You guys are amazing, as well as all my other patrons. If you guys want to become a part of the weekly Deck Tech vote, my link to the patrons in the description down below. Join the patron, join the Discord, and again, start voting. It's a lot of fun. With that being said, I hope this helped you in your deck building endeavors, and I will see you in the next one.